Welcome to the CLS Monthly Market Review. I'm Rusty Vanneman, Chief Investment Officer at CLS Investments, and with me this month is Mark Matthews, Analyst at CLS Investments. Welcome, Mark.
Thanks, Rosie.
We are going to talk about a bunch of things, but first let's talk about the markets. We are doing this. The month's not quite over, but it looks like it's going to be a pretty decent month. The market is probably going to be up after a down quarter, but there's some interesting things going on.
Well, yeah, there's a couple things going on. So if you look at what value stocks are doing and what small cap stocks are doing over the last 2 months, if the month ended today, both are outperforming their counterparts, small over large and value over growth.
And that could be a really important inflection point because they've underperformed for a long time. And it's also important to CLS portfolios because we're overweight those two areas. Other things that are doing well is commodities, real assets have also been outperforming. That's good for us too. The one thing that's not so great is emerging markets have lagged.
Absolutely.
I think one thing that a lot of people sort of forget is we're still in a bull market. You know, we have not seen a 20% correction in a long time. You got some stats on bull markets?
Well, one of the things that's interesting about this bull market is that as of the end of this month, the end of last month, rather, it's the second largest and second longest bull market we've had.
Yeah.
Returns are over 300%, and it's lasted over 9 years. We haven't seen that duration or that magnitude since the bull market from 1987 to 2000. So it's definitely something that I think investors should be aware of.
I think it's a great point. I mean, first of all, it's been a long and strong bull market, but if we are going to become the longest and strongest, we've still got 4 years to go.
Definitely.
You know, we still have a lot of room, but still, it is a mature bull market. And I think one thing that's kind of the downside of it is valuations are much higher, and when valuations are higher, expected returns have to be lower. Of course, our investment themes, the three themes are three different ways people can enhance return. So be active, which means don't just passively buy the market. There are opportunities. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Second is be smart, and that is emphasize smart beta ETFs or factor investing. Again, that gives you an edge in investing over time. Third is be creative. Go into different asset classes besides stocks and bonds. You can go into alternatives and commodities, for example.
Absolutely.
One thing I have you here for, though, is because you we are a very value-oriented firm, but you're probably our most hardcore value guy.
Absolutely.
So why do we like value stocks so much?
Well, the primary reason for liking value is the relative valuations to growth. If you look at what value is sitting at from a valuation standpoint relative to growth, it's as cheap as it's been since the tech bubble in 2000.
Amazing,
so
yeah.
That's one main reason.
And think how much value stocks popped right after that too.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And then you have to factor in the improving global economic environment. An environment like that is a strong tailwind behind value stocks, and it's ripe for positive performance going forward relative to growth.
Yeah, great. All right, so you're the value guy. So I am too. It's a pretty exciting time to be in Omaha coming up next week. We got the Berkshire Hathaway meeting. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, one of the things I like most about the Berkshire Hathaway meeting is that some of the best and brightest investment minds in the entire industry converge all to Omaha. You wouldn't expect that in Omaha, but one of the beauties of that meeting is that some of the people that you get to meet, hedge fund managers from Australia, hedge fund managers from London, and hedge fund managers all around that you hear about on a regular basis, like Seth Farmer and things and guys like that. And then, of course, just the 3.5 hour to 4 hour, marathon of wisdom from Munger and Buffett. So you can't beat that. It's an amazing weekend.
Yeah, I agree with you all the way. Well, thanks, Mark. Thanks for coming on the show this month.
Thanks for having me, Rusty.
And thank you for your time and trust in CLS Investments.